Should I buy or should I rent? Well, you read the title right, guys. We're going to talk about the difference between buying or renting. And I'm excited. I have a great tool that will help you realize when you can break even when you actually buy your home. Of course, I am Keyra Ford, your real estate cheerleader. I help you take ownership of where you live and how you live. And I'm super pumped about this because I have so many people who are a little scarce when it comes to buying, where they're like, Keyra, the interest rates are too high, or Keyra, I just don't know if I have enough money. Keyra, I think it makes more sense to just rent right now. And today in this video, you're gonna get some clarity, because clarity is power, on why buying makes sense for some people. However, before we jump into that, this is a checklist of if you are ready to buy. So if you're renting and you don't have these things in place, I will say continue to rent until you have your checklist all checked off. The first thing on your checklist when you're renting, you need to figure out where you are. When I say where you are, I'm in Dallas-Fort Worth area. So if I'm not willing to stay in this location for the next 5 years, I don't believe you're ready to buy. You need to figure out what location you know that you would want to be long term, because to break even, which we'll go over that a little later in this video, so make sure you stay tuned, you need to stay in the home at minimum 4 to 5 years. And why staying in the house anywhere from that 4 to 5 years is important is because you have closing costs, you have other things that you had to pay when you actually purchase this home. So it takes you a certain amount of time to actually feel like, hey, I'm actually making money having this asset versus, just pouring into it. So also, if you have a lower interest rate, it's easier to break even faster. If you have a higher interest rate, of course, it's going to be a little bit, slower when it comes to breaking even. So of course, keep that in your mind whenever you are buying. Now, I have to tell my buyers or the people who are interested in buying in this current market, interest rates are actually at an average. If you're anywhere from that 5.5 to about 7.5, that is an average over the years. And then the reason why I tell you that, if you're looking for a 2.3 interest rates or 3 or 4s, that was historically low interest rates. So you'll be waiting for a lifetime. So I'm gonna let you know now, if that is you who is trying to wait for the 3s and the 4s, you will not be able to build wealth, because I do not see us getting to a 3 or 4 interest rate when it comes to homes again in our lifetime. Another thing that you want to make sure is checked off on your checklist is stability. Are you in a career that you feel like you're stable? Have you had at least a year and a half, 2 years on the job? And if not 2 years on the job or a year on the job, are you in the same industry? Have you been in the same industry? Are you in tech and now you're in automobiles? When it's time to buy a home, you want to make sure that you feel stable, because it does take some adjusting when you actually purchase. It's not the same as when you are renting, when you can, call a maintenance person to come fix things. When things break, it's on you. You have to take ownership of that. Another piece that to me is very important on this checklist is to make sure that you have anywhere from that 3 to 6 months of emergency savings, just because life is always lifing and we need to always be prepared for the unexpected. If you can check off and say yes to all these things, then I will say congrats, you are ready to buy. But if you can say, I still need to work on these areas, I would say we'll continue to rent, but make sure you're trying to hit these milestones. Matter of fact, put in the comments if you are a renter. I don't care where you are in the world. If you're in New York, if you're in California, if you're in Atlanta, if you're in Dallas, are you a renter? Because if you're a renter, I would love to have a conversation with you on how you can build wealth through real estate. Okay, so I told you that I was gonna show you a tool that is gonna help you with really seeing the full picture of what it looks like to rent versus buy, and when you would actually break even when that time comes after you've purchased. So if you can see here, I did an example of a $400,000 home with about 5% down, which is about $20,000, and it's a 30-year loan. I also put 2707, and that is the average rent price for a 3-bedroom, 2-bath rental property in Dallas, Texas. So you get in here, you play with this tool, Figure out what makes sense for you, what monthly amount you feel comfortable with, and let's set up a strategy session so I can help you go from where you are to where you want to be and help you take ownership of your property that you buy and show you how to live an abundant life. For any additional questions about this tool or anything that you would like me to speak more about, please comment below, and I'm always here to help you guys.
Oh my gosh, there she is. It's Keyra Ford. Keyra Ford. You don't know what? You've never heard? Oh my gosh, she slays every time.